Welcome to The Elder Scrolls II Daggerfall, released by Bethesda Softworks in August 1996. This is my favorite of the mainline Elder Scrolls games. We're gonna go with this one. Okay, we're gonna create a custom class. I have a class set up. I spent probably the morning in a a Google Sheets a Google Sheets document, just going through and laying out what exactly I want for this class. You may be thinking, Mystic, why aren't you playing the wonderful Daggerfall Unity port? To which I reply, you're right, I should be playing that. Oh well. I wanted to do something more classic. I discovered this game probably early middle school, because it was released for free right around then, and just being like amazed at how much stuff you could you could do for an Elder Scrolls game. I've only beaten this game probably around 9 times, which isn't a lot. It is an expansive, not expensive game. Probably the second longest. I say that mostly because it was the second longest for me to beat. The Elder Scrolls Arena was a bitch. And if I ever play that again, I'll go crazy. I don't dislike the Elder Scrolls Arena. It's just it's a boring maze game in the later parts of the game, because by then you already have the best equipment. Sorry if I sound a bit distracted. I'm currently reading off the Google Sheet I made. I'll go over what these skills do in a second. Blunt weapon, hammers, maces, flails, staffs. I want critical strike because I want to do lots of damage if I get super duper lucky. Mysticism, this is for the best spell in the game. Recall. I wouldn't recommend playing Daggerfall without the recall spell, because the dungeons in this game are massive. Most of them are randomly generated, so they could either break or just be an endless maze with a ton of hidden doors and just really bullshit modules. Destruction, that's like fireball and stuff like that, pretty basic. Medical, whenever I rest, I would like to heal as quickly as possible. Thaumaturgy, this is for the spell Levitate, which normally you could just climb everywhere. But in the later half of the game, you're pretty much expected to float everywhere, especially in the last dungeon. Alteration is for stuff like water breathing, mostly just for dungeon exploration. Climbing, self-explanatory. Jumping, self-explanatory. Longblade is just a backup weapon. Normally, you shouldn't really run with many backup weapons. Most of the mainline classes do, like Knight, Spell Sword, and stuff like that. Running, I want to go really fast, and short blade is just another backup weapon. I'm going to boost my strength up to 60 because I like to carry stuff, and I like to do high damage. I'm pretty dumb. And so we're going to lower our intelligence just to balance out the strength. I want my endurance to go up to 55. It doesn't do a bonus, but that's just for dice rolls later in the character customization. Personality, not a needed trait at all. It's pretty useless in this game. Speed, I like going really fast in this game, and it's painful to go really slow. Okay, alright. You could edit your advantages and disadvantages depending on class. Advantages, I would like increased magery 2 times. This would double the amount of double your intelligence equal to your magicka. So my intelligence is 40. My magicka at the moment will be 80. I also want expertise in blunt weapons. This is to do more damage and have a higher ability at hitting. Rapid healing. This is for just taking a nap in the middle of a dungeon and quickly getting my healing over with, as opposed to taking 36 plus hours to get a full health bar. I also want to be immune to magic. This pretty much negates most things, most spells, poison, stuff like that. I also want to be immune to paralysis. If I see a spider without immunity to paralysis, I turn the other direction, because it'll paralyze you and you can't fight it and you fucking die. Not good. Disadvantages, this is just to balance out this dagger. Skill advancement for class is 3 times. You need 3 times the amount of skill level ups to achieve a level, and the same goes for here. Mages usually have an upper skill advancement to take more time to get more equipment before leveling, while rogues and stuff, who usually aren't getting hit, have a lower skill advancement. Warriors are more in the middle. For our disadvantages, we want critical weakness to fire, critical weakness to frost. This is pretty much useless, and the fact that we are immune to magic, and I don't believe we'll be taking any fire or frost damage that's non-magical. Forbidden material. You could completely disable armor materials and weapon materials from your character. Elven really drops the dagger low. I also don't want to use Orcish, because Orcish is lame and green and gross. And just for funsies, I'm going to get rid of Daedric. It's bright red metal, so usually it's really good. It's the best armor in the game. I just don't really want to use it this run. I also don't want to use tower shields. They're lame and bulky and not worth the weight ratio to defense. I also am going to ban myself completely from using missile weapons. This is just archery. Archery in this game isn't that good. Reputations. You could edit reputations for your class for each character. Say whatever class name I'm going to come up with at the top of my head, hopefully soon. I probably should have come up with that earlier this morning. Oh well. You could come up with different reputations. This character, being a mercenary and all, would probably have a higher standing with nobility, but won't do any of the illegal bad stuff, so has an issue with the underworld. And this is just basic stuff. I don't fully use this much at all. We're just gonna call our character a traveler. That seems pretty basic. We're gonna have, let's see, I want it to be average. 20. That's decent for average. The max you could get is 30, while the minimum I believe is 4. Yeah, 4. Now you could set it up and you could get all min-max C and have this be 30 and be all the way down here to the red. I don't fully want to do that. If I'm being min-maxy, I put the long blade up here, because long blades are the best weapons in the game. I believe that is all we need to do. Yes. Okay. All right. Exit. This is generations for our backgrounds. You could fast start. That's lame. I want to actually choose what influences my background. What school of magic have you been studying the longest? Mysticism. It's one of my major primary skills. Riches, because it starts you off with 500 gold pieces. In between formal study, you spent your time. I'm gonna go with, I believe sparring increases your critical strike. Since childhood, you have saved a favorite book, because books are so expensive. They're really useful for selling. Alright, normally, most people would choose an ebony dagger. An ebony dagger is the highest material, or the third highest material in the game, and it's a pretty powerful dagger. However, I want a suit of armor. I like having armor at the start of the game, because armor is difficult to find that's not chain or leather. As you grew older, you would receive additional magical training, and we're going to go with destruction, so I could use that more. As a child, your nickname was, I believe, okay, this is running, climbing, hand to hand, swimming, and jumping, I believe. I want to go with climbing. You are friendlier than most with the savage harpies, giants, dragons, nymphs, daedra, spriggans, centaurs, and imps. We're gonna go with dragons because that sounds cool. Of all disagreeable types, you have the most personal hatred for priests, wizards, peasants, barons, and assassins. Assassins. You are intimate friends with a... This doesn't really do anything. More just roleplay flavor. We're gonna go with a warrior. What god, if any, do you worship? Zenithar, the god of commerce, trade, stuff like that. Dibella, the goddess of beauty. Akatosh, the god of time. Kinnereth, the god of air, goddess of air. Stendar, god of mercy. Julianos, god of logic. Mara, the mother goddess. And Arcade, birth and death god. If you look at the UESP, a fantastic website for getting information on the on Daggerfall, and actually where you could download the fully patched version of the game. This is a very buggy game, as most Bethesda games usually are. This comes with the patches that I'd say make the game bug free. This game's not bug free at all, but it gets rid of the games that make the game. Did I say games? Gets rid of the bugs that make the game playable. All right, we're gonna go with Julianos, I guess. That's a fun one. You have the most trouble resisting poisons, staying awake and alert, getting along with others, avoiding diseases, resisting magic, and fighting without magic. I wonder what happens if you click resisting magic while being immune to magic. We'll find out. Okay, this says unchanged. Normally, I usually have high with scholars because I would pick I do not worship gods because I usually want to advance to the mages guild as fast as possible. I'm not going to be doing much mages guild in this run. I'll probably just join to get some spells, and that's it. Okay, alright, I had a name picked out for the actual character and not the class. We're going to go with, that's Chorian, Dorian Woodard. Faces, ooh, this one's a fun one. That's a decent looking one. It's alright looking. Old. Eh. Oh, that's unfortunate looking. Mismatching beard. Dyed his hair a different color. Wild hair. Ooh, okay. That's a decent one too. Maybe that. Okay. We're gonna go with this one. I like this one a lot. Okay, this is bonus points. You could re-roll to a max of 14. We're actually gonna load that roll because we had a 65 endurance when ours was originally a 55. So we get a plus 10 to endurance right off the bat. I'm gonna buff this up to 70 so we get a plus 2 to damage. And I'm going to put the rest into speed because I like going fast. This is bonus points for our skills. I'm going to throw this all into critical strike so I have a higher chance at critical strike. Throw this into medical so I heal faster. And this one, this one. Long blade. Reflexes. You can make it so that the enemies are faster when just doing their rolls and stuff. I like to go very high because if you read this, you will advance faster with a very high reflex. This is the final sheet you get to finish character creation. You can hit restart right here, and I've accidentally done that a couple times, and I had to go through the entirety of character creation all over again. It was not fun. So click the red OK button.
"400 years after Tyler stepped into reign. The beginning will meet the end, and the bloody circle will close at the Empire of Tamriel. The unworthy heirs of the Septim dynasty have allowed the bonds of the Empire to weaken and crack. Uriel Septim, the Seventh, cannot repair what his ancestors ignored. The provinces fight among themselves like neglected children, drunk with rebellion, and one indomitable power hides itself, but not forever.
Excuse the gloom, but none may know of this meeting. The nature of my trouble is darker still. Over a year ago, King Lysandus of Daggerfall died honorably on the field of battle. He was as loyal a subject, ally, and friend as you are. I did grieve for him, but his spirit does not rest. With a spectral army, he haunts his former kingdom, crying for revenge. I do not know why a good and loyal man would be so cursed. Perhaps you can find the answer and close the marble jaws of oblivion, bringing peace to his soul. I ask this as your emperor and your friend. I have one lesser request. Several years ago, I wrote a letter to the Queen of Daggerfall. It never arrived. The letter was of a sentimental and personal nature. If you find and destroy that letter, I will be grateful. Now, my champion, rest well this night, for tomorrow you sail for the kingdom of Daggerfall.
You awake and look around the room. Some hours ago, you were in a boat en route to Daggerfall when a storm of supernatural strength boiled over the Iliac Bay like a malefic creature. Your boat was destroyed, but you managed to swim through the churning water to a promontory rock. There you found a cave and escaped the fury of the storm. You had only just lit a small fire when a mudslide sealed you within. Your fear of being buried alive calmed when you saw the corridor leading out of the cavern. Perhaps there is a way out of this cave after all. Once free of the cave, you could begin the Emperor's quest. This game has a starting tutorial quest, but it only gives you the basic original controls. So it is useless to us. I'm going to turn that down. Okay. We will actually start the dungeon in the next episode, but until then, we have stuff to look at. This is our paper doll, our player model. We could use shirts and stuff, or just items in general. Info will tell us what things are. This is an iron longsword, which could do 0 points of damage if you're really unlucky. There's also armor, which gives us a +3 to our armor rating. And it says full set. It doesn't give you an actual full set. We're missing gauntlets, a helmet, some shoes. We have a book. What is this book? Alright, we have Biography of Queen Berenzia, Volume 3 by Stam Gamboge, worth 406 gold pieces. Like I said, books are expensive. You could play this game in a typical mouse look format, which is nice and fun to do, which is it's how I usually play. I just wanted to try something different because I'm a dumbass hipster, and like to feel good about myself. As soon as you finish character creation, save the damn game. Because there is no autosave. If you die after character creation and you didn't save your game, you have to go all the way back through character creation. Back to square one. Not the most fun things. Health is green as opposed to red like it is in the later games. Blue is magicka. That's our face. You could click on it to bring up our character sheet, which has our stats, name, which if you click on once per level, you could change our race, our class, etc. You can also look at our history, which is a pre-generated background, which we will do another time. Spellbook. We have 3 spells at the moment, which every custom class starts off with if they are a spellcaster. Shock, Slow Falling, and Chameleon. This spell can be useful-ish. We'll probably use it a couple times throughout the dungeon. We will be doing a complete clear of Privateer's Hold, the starting dungeon, if we are not too weak of a character. If not, we'll just skip to the end of the dungeon and just try to find some better loot. You could cast magic spells from here. This is use magic items. We don't have any magic items. You could switch your interaction mode. We're currently in grab, which is basically everything. Open doors, talk to people. This is info mode. If you're trying to find a name of a building, you could use info mode. Same with the name of a person. This is steal mode. If you see a person and you are in steal mode, you will be pickpocketing from them. This is very dangerous to leave on, unless you're actually trying to pickpocket. This is also to open locked doors. Dialogue mode, useless. This is our inventory right here. This is to draw our weapon. If you click on it, you will draw our weapon, and you could swing it by moving the mouse as you hold your attack button. Really fun system until I get arthritis 20 years down the line. This is transportation. You can't change your transportation indoors, but later on you get a cart, a horse, and then a boat if you're rolling in funds. This is a map. It's not the best map system at all. It's really kind of bad, but it's a 3D map system, which is more than Arena had, because Arena was not 3D. This is the rest. For a while, you could tell it how many hours you want to rest, up to 99, I believe, until fully healed. And then loiter for a while, which you can only do up to 3 hours at a time. This isn't resting, and this is mostly for in towns because you cannot sleep while inside of a town. Okay, alright. I believe we are prepared to delve into Privateer's Hold, which we will do in the next episode. I put the link to the Daggerfall download just in case you ever wanted to try this game by yourself. It's a fun game, and I absolutely recommend it. It is very difficult to get into. So until then, see you next time.